Beginning this journey in a child's pose so that we can open up the hips in a wide-legged stance here for this water sign flow, and then sitting back on the heels with prayer Anjane Mudra. Inhale to lift the arms all the way up, and then bring the hands down in front of you and begin to cat-cow with your own breath. Inhaling to arch the spine and look up for your cow pose, and then exhaling to round within for your cat pose. And you can take this in undulations, flips of the wrists, whatever you need to begin to set your intention for what you're looking to feel into. What fluidity, what energizing motion are you looking to attract and manifest into your life, so that every movement here on the mat can be part of the cycle that brings that in. From here, tuck the toes, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Right leg high on the breath in, open up the hip on the breath out. Right hip stacks on top of left as you cross-reference down through right fingertips. Three-legged dog on the breath in, step it through between the hands, back knee down on the breath out. Then arms lift up, Anjane Asana, crescent lunge. For this crescent lunge, you can think of low hips as you lift up and out of the front body, thoracic spine. Biceps curl in, fingertips curl in also as shoulder blades melt down. Hands down on the breath out, coming into a lizard pose, so both hands are inside the right foot. You can either stay lifted on the hands or you can come down onto the forearms like I did. Neither is better or worse. Just think about keeping your hips neutral depending on the variation you're taking. You might even come back up on the hands and reach for the back left ankle with the right hand if you're looking to open up the quad. Lunge twist is where we meet. Left hand is down, right hand is high. Spinning right ribs on top of left as you keep left heel pulling in towards the midline and spiraling your gaze up. Both hands down, squat pose on the breath out. Heels are down, thumbs are at heart center, and heart is opening. Forward fold where we meet. Arms all the way on up, inhale, high prayer, and then fold all the way back through on your exhale. Half lift as you breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Step the right foot back, step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Plank pose as you breathe in. Heart lifts on the breath in. Downward facing dog on the breath out. Three-legged dog, left side. Exhale, open up the hip. Left hip on top of right, cross-referencing down through left fingertips and making little circles. Three-legged on the breath in, step the foot between the hands, right knee down, crescent lunge. Left knee is over left ankle, biceps spinning in, shoulder blades melting down, and hips remaining low. Fingertips reach on every breath in, and then on your next breath out, you can allow the hands to come inside the left foot for your lizard pose. You can either remain lifted on the hands or come down onto the forearms as I did, keeping hips neutral with whatever variation you're choosing. You might reach for the back right ankle with the left hand for a quad stretch as I did. Lunge twist is where we meet. Right hand is down, left arm is high, and you're pulling right heel in towards the midline. So we're not splaying, we're precisely aligning ourselves in a straight up and down and horizontal line. Both hands down, squat pose, right foot meets left. You might fall a bit like I did. Hands at heart center, thumbs at the sternum, keeping the heart open. And then on your breath out, hands come down. We meet in a forward fold. All the way on up to stand as you breathe in, brings you down through center on the breath out. half lift flat back for the breath in, then plant the hands, left foot steps back, right foot steps back, down dog, plank pose as you breath in, chaturanga on the breath out, up dog inhale, downward facing dog on your exhale. We'll start to build a bit of a flow here. So right leg high, breathing in, step it between the hands, open up peaceful warrior on the breath out, right arm over right ear, deep bend in right knee over right ankle as left hand is down the left thigh. Half moon is your exhale. Right hand is down, left arm is high. Left foot is stamping the back wall and you're stacking left ribs on top of right. You might even reach for the back ankle for Chapasana with one or both hands as I did. And then big step back into a warrior two is where we meet. Right toes are forward, left toes are either parallel to or turned in about 45 degrees from the back edge of the mat. Fingertips splay as shoulder blades melt down. We come into a triangle pose. Right leg lengthens, right fingertips are down either on the shin or inside or outside the shin, spiraling right ribs underneath left and gazing up towards left fingertips. Next is a extended side angle pose, right forearm on right thigh, left bicep over left ear. It's an internal rotation of the hips and an external rotation of the ribs. So look up and rotate under left bicep. You might come into a half bind with the left hand behind the back and then connect it into a full bind. And then I'm coming into bird of paradise. As many steps as you need for the left foot to be down top of the mat. The right knee to come into the side of the chest as you come up to stand and gaze to lift. You can think about keeping the hips and heart open more so than the lengthening of the leg. We all meet in Vrikshasana tree pose. Right knee opens up, left foot is down, thumbs at the sternum, keeping the grounded leg rooted as you open up the hip. Right knee into chest, breathing in, warrior three on your breath out. Thumbs keeping at your prayer namaste, hips are neutral, and right foot is flexing. Hands down, exhale, meeting in downward facing dog, and we go through a vinyasa up and back. Left leg high, breathing in. Step it between the hands, right heel down, peaceful warrior. Right arm lifts, or left arm, lifts up and over left ear. Right hand is down the right thigh, and left knee is over left ankle. Back right heel is down, and then coming into half moon, left hand is down, right fingertips are high, right foot is stamping the back wall, and you might even reach for the back ankle as I did to bring things full circle to open up the hips for Chapasana here. Opening back up and landing in a warrior two. Wide stance, sides of the waist are even, so I should have pulled back a bit more towards the right here, but my stance is correct with left knee over left ankle and right toes slightly in or parallel. For triangle, I'm lengthening left leg, coming with the left fingertips down inside left shin, gazing up towards right fingertips and spiraling right ribs on top of left as inner thighs knit together. For extended side angle, left forearm is coming onto left thigh, right bicep is over right ear, and my back right pinky side edge is rooting down. My right hand can disappear behind the back into a half bind, and then connecting it with a full bind, but only do so if your breath allows it. You want binds to lengthen rather than constrict the breath. As many steps as you need for right foot to meet the left for bird of paradise. Left foot comes into the chest as you breathe in, and my hamstrings are not lengthened enough to extend the left toes out, but if you are with lengthened hamstrings, you can extend the left toes high. We meet in a tree pose, left foot inside the right thigh. You can also have the left foot below the knee or kickstanded down, or left foot anywhere but the knee is correct for this pose. Like a pendulum, we meet in a warrior three. Hips are neutral, so for most of us that means left hip dialing down in line with right. Left foot is flexing and heart is lifted like a diver's pose. We meet in a downward facing dog. After a vinyasa, hips up and back. From here, right leg is high. We're changing up the flow here. Step it between the hands and rise on up, high lunge. Biceps curl in, pinkies are high. Right knee over right ankle as your back left foot is high. From here, prayer the hands, twist right. Left elbow outside right knee, looking over right shoulder, and twisting towards the right side as you keep the hips neutral. Left foot meets right, revolved chair pose, Parvrita Utkatasana. In this revolved chair pose, I want your knees in one line and both of your hips neutral, so neither is knocking out. Normal chair pose as you breathe in, up and down to sit on the breath out. Weight is in the heels, seat is down, chest is open. Up to stand, right knee to chest on the breath in, then warrior 3 on the breath out. We've been here before. Can you make the architecture even more mindful? There might be a slight micro bend in your standing leg to prevent locking out from the joints as you keep the heart lifted. And then revolved half moon is where we meet. Right hand is down, left arm is high. You're keeping hips neutral as you revolve left ribs on top of right. You can't have a block underneath the hand. I would recommend it. And then reaching for left ankle is optional, or right ankle, I mean. You can bring left hand onto right ankle if you would like to further bring that full circle cycle. We land in a lunge twist to release. Right hand is down, left arm is high. Breathing into the extension of left fingertips. Side plank, exhale. Top leg lifts as you breathe in. Step it behind you, rock star on the breath out. High-fiving the front wall. And then moving back through your vinyasa, your flow of choice. We meet in a downward facing dog, hips up and back. Left leg high on the inhale, then step it through on the exhale, rising on up, high lunge. Again, left knee is over left ankle, back right heel is high, and the sides of the waist are pulling together so that you can lift up out of the front thoracic spine. And then we'll plant the hands heart center and twist towards the left. Right elbow outside left knee, back right heel is high, and you're gazing up and over left shoulder as you rotate towards the ceiling. From here, look down. Right foot meets left, revolved chair pose. As you revolve right ribs underneath the left, make sure that your knees are in line, neither knee is knocking out, and that neither hip is knocking out either. From the waist down, we're even. Then picking up into normal chair pose. Hips are still low, chest is open, fingertips are high even as your gaze is straight forward. Coming up to stand on the breath in, and then like a pendulum, warrior 3 on the breath out. Back left toes flex, and your hips are in line. So we're dialing left hip down in line with right. There might be a slight micro bend in your right knee. Coming into revolved half moon, left hand is down, right hand is high. You can think of rotating right ribs on top of left, even as you keep your hips neutral and you gaze up. You might even reach for the back left ankle with the right hand to connect in what I like to call pretzelasana, which is not a technical term. Stepping all the way back into a lunge twist, left hand down, right arm high, left heel is pulling in towards the midline. Exhale, side plank, Vashisthasana. Top leg lifts as you inhale. Exhale, rock star, flip yourself inside out, high-fiving the front of the room. And exhale, you move back through your vinyasa. Hips up and back. Then ripple forward on the breath in, lower down into a sphinx pose on the breath out. Forearms are down, chest is lifted. We're here just to give ourselves a bit of a heart opener after some of that back bending that might have left us wanting some neutrality. From here, rolling on to the back, stepping the feet in. Coming up into a bridge pose, hips lift, chest lifts, pressing into the heels to engage the glutes. And then you lower down. We have another chance at bridge pose. Maybe this time you interlace the hands underneath the back, snuggle the shoulder blades together, and find even more elevation. Lowering on down, and we have one final back bend of choice. This might be full wheel as I did. You do not need to come up as bent or as high as I did. This is just an example of an exaggerated expression. You can also stay with half bridge or supported bridge if you have a block. Chin to chest brings you all the way down. Knees come in, giving yourself a little hug. And then right knee comes into the chest, left leg long. Take a supine twist over to the left side. Right knee crosses the body and you gaze over right shoulder. Right ankle crosses left knee for a reclined pigeon pose. You can keep the left foot on the ground, or like me, you can raise the left shin up. You can interlace the hands around the left thigh, and you can think of opening the hip as you lengthen the hamstring. Re-lengthen the left leg, use the right knee into the chest to pull you up to sit for Janu Shirsasana. Arms lift on the inhale, and then you come over the extended leg on the exhale. Now laying on back, switching sides, left knee into the chest, right leg long, supine twist, left knee crosses the body, and you look over the left shoulder.
I know someday we could finally be.
As you come back through center, right foot is down, left ankle across right knee, and then you can go ahead, stay as is, or you can lengthen the right leg and interlace the hands around the thigh or the shin as I did. Use the left knee into the chest and the right leg long to come up to sit for Janu on this side, reaching for the toes as you bring heart towards knee. Lifting on up gently. Then our final seated forward fold. My hamstrings asked me to keep a bend in them, so similarly, think about heart to thighs more than rounding. So if that means a deep bend in your knees as mine did, you can definitely have that looseness in order to come close. Inhaling to sit up, and then exhaling to lower all the way down into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Thanking yourself for opening up to feeling whatever it was that you needed to feel today, and inviting in that fluidity of motion, of change, of heart opening, and of emotional trust. So with that being said, if you like this, like, subscribe, check out my other videos, hit post notifications so you never miss an upload, and I will see you in the next one.